All right, thanks everybody for joining us here in Miami, Alpha Stage, focusing on events and community building within Web3. I'd like to kind of start off with doing some brief introductions. I'll start with myself, Alexis Johnson, president of Light No Media Agency. We focus on events, putting on events. We also do advisory and marketing for Web3 projects in the space.
Hi, my name's Jia Ling Yang, and I'm the founder and CEO of Playground. You can check it out at playgroundapp.com. My career has spanned media, entertainment, and tech, where I worked on brands like Facebook and YouTube and had a front row seat at the creator economy. What we're doing at Playground is we're reinventing decentralized social to be around shared experiences and events to build more meaningful community.
Awesome. My name is Caroline Genova. I'm originally from Prague, Czech Republic, and I'm the founder and CEO of WAGMI Guide. WAGMI Guide is essentially an app that helps you discover Web3 events worldwide, but also connect to speakers and communities in the Web3 space.
Amazing. I'm Jumana El Darwish. I'm actually based in Dubai. I flew over 16 hours yesterday, and here I am. I've been building in this space for quite a while. I specialize in GameFi, decentralized networking apps, and EduFi as well. But I'm here representing Made for You Global, which is a decentralized app which helps bridge the gap between Web 2 and Web 3 technology and help female entrepreneurs and business leaders reach their potential through our programs, events, and various initiatives as well.
Awesome. Thank you guys for the intros. To
so
get
loud.
Started.
I can't hear myself.
Yeah, they're very loud in the back. If you could please quiet down in the back, that would be very much appreciated. Okay. Yeah, so to kick things off, in your guys' opinion, I guess starting with you, Caroline, what role do you see events playing in the Web3 space when it comes to fostering and growing the community?
So I think it's really, really important for the Web3 community to be able to sort of connect and find each other. And having tools to do so, it's one of the really big aspects that we're trying to do with WAGMI Guide, but mainly also to really bring Web2 clientele and brands into the space. So with WAGMI Guide, what we did is we based the mobile app as a Web2 mobile app for the very reason because we just wanted to create something that is familiar with the current audience, not only the Web3 community. And with that, I hope that we can actually connect more people and actually find communities that people feel like they belong into and find the events that they enjoy.
Awesome. Gia?
I think that there's so much synergy on this panel, which is exciting. We have a very similar mission at Playground. Playground is the idea that the whole world's a playground. There's always communities to join, events to discover, new things to do together, new people to meet. And that for a long time, technology made a lot of other basic human needs accessible. Like even in the pandemic, you could get things on demand, but just being together, it was quite difficult. And so we actually see events as a way to connect people more deeply. We've expanded our definition of events to be real life and virtual events, but also to anything that's based on a time frame. So a drop, if it's a project that's launching and you want to activate your community around it, if you want to launch a podcast, launch a music video, launch an NFT, or drop an event, it's all a moment that's being shared together. So we're redesigning an entire decentralized social platform around shared experiences. So that it means, the social chats to connect people that like to join the same communities and do the same things, and all the tools to kind of organize, monetize, and grow your community through activation and not just passive content.
Anything to add?
From our side, actually, when we started building our app, originally we wanted it to be 100% Web3 centric in terms of a decentralized networking platform. And what we found, especially in the Middle East and North Africa region, there's still a massive knowledge gap. We are, at the end of the day, in its very embryonic stage, even globally, let alone within that region. And so we felt it was important to build a platform that integrates Web 2 and Web 3 as well functionalities. Made for You Global is a space and a platform for female entrepreneurs and business leaders. We have networking, knowledge development programs, Web3, leadership programs, and so the way that we built it, it has 3 different levels. The first level is freemium. So that's the Web 2 element of it, which is accessible to all. So whoever wants to take part and download the app and sign up and be a part of it, they're more than welcome to do so. Then there's a next stage, which is unlocked through an NFT. And through the NFT is basically the premium membership, we call it. And those NFT holders are a little bit more eloquent in Web3 technology, and they get additional perks using their NFT. And then by having also an NFT, we integrated a DAO as well, so they get access to the DAO interface. And the DAO interface represents nonprofit programs that are designed to support women empowerment programs, be it microfinance, education in developing countries. And so those users, the NFT holders or the premium members, have access to that DAO and have voting rights. And then the 4th tier of it, aside from the DAO, we have also a metaverse university that we are integrating as well. So we've done it in a way where it's completely holistic, and we've looked at so many models out there. And unfortunately, you either have models that are Web 2 eloquent or Web 3 eloquent, and you don't have that bridge. And that is with madeforyouglobal.com, we are trying to bridge that gap and create an opportunity for excessive learning, and through co-creation, perhaps even partnering with these amazing, incredible entrepreneurs, we're able to reach the masses and build. And I really do believe moving forward, more and more people within this community, within Web3, have to look a little bit outside of the current community that we're in, because there's a massive population out there that are interested to be integrated but still don't have the capacity to do so.
Awesome. And my next question is more specific to Caroline. With the WAGMI guide, like more or less, would you say WAGMI guide represents an Eventbrite for Web3? Like what features are different and specific to the industry?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we really try to create with WAGMI guide, like we just sort of discussed, is to have that bridge over from Web 2 to Web 3. So we have a Web 2 app, but we're adding Web 3 implementing. So essentially, we're going to have ticketing, which is based on blockchain. We're going to have a DAO, which is going to be deciding, for instance, which events are giving them sort of knowledge, impact, what's the quality, and they can actually decide which events will be trending in our app and so on, and earn rewards for it. But still, the basis of it, I would say, it's about connecting to the community and finding events. So we could call it a Web3 Eventbrite, but with a little bit of sprinkle on top of it.
Okay, very cool. And how long have you been working on this project? How long have you been working on the app?
So we actually started building the app 6 months ago, and now we already launched worldwide. So it's been quite a quick process. Me and my co-founder, we had this idea when we were actually attending New York NYC conference, and it was just so much happening there with the side events. There's so many Excel sheets. We really couldn't keep track of where to go, what's next, where's the venue, and so on. So we decided on the spot, okay, this has to change. We have to build a tool that will actually help people to navigate through this. And yeah, and here we are today, launching WAGMI Guide.
Amazing, congrats. And Gia, with Playground, I looked at it briefly. It reminds me a little bit of Facebook events, because there's more of a social community element. Maybe you can elaborate a little bit further and how you guys differentiate as a platform.
Yeah, I come from the media industry, and I used to work and consult at Facebook, actually. Their top performing features were 3. It was Facebook groups, Facebook events, and Messenger. And if you look at those 3 things, those are the core to community building. You need a place where your community can gather and connect with each other as members, member to member. Otherwise, it's just audience building the way Web 2 is structured. And it's events to bring your members together. And as we've seen through the pandemic, there's new ways to connect, whether it's virtual or real life. And it's like the chats to keep in touch and connect in between all the activities. So we have focused and taken a little bit of inspiration from my past experience working on, Web 2 social. And so it might feel like a Web3 decentralized Facebook groups. But instead of, promotion, filtered photos, likes and follows, which we've seen has been kind of the wrong incentives, I would say. It's about the health of a community, the bonding curve and the growth, and the quality of interaction of a community, which I think are, curated events. And so we're starting there. Similarly, as much as Facebook is going to try to spend billions of dollars building an open, interoperable multiverse of connected communities, their business model is not really founded upon those principles. And so Playground, we considered ourselves like a playground. We want to collaborate and play and integrate with all of these other communities and builders, which is why our platform, you can think of it like a connected, community economy that, is an alternative to Facebook groups or a Telegram group chat or Discord, wherever you're putting your home base for a community. But it's powered by play points, which encourages play and participation and to explore, and also Ground Coin, which will be our governance token that will be listed, and that is so that all the communities that come onto Playground or build on Playground or invest in Playground, we're basically gathering all of the global communities under to build a global playground, and one that's co-created and ultimately co-owned. And so it's powered by a business model and a tokenomic structure, even though the platform looks maybe pretty familiar.
Got it. Very interesting. And my next question is more directed towards Jumana. When it comes to the metaverse and AR and VR, how do you foresee these platforms being able to shape the future of Web3 event experiences?
Well, the metaverse in general it has been a reality for over 20 years. It's the basis of gaming, if we go back. And so its application or adoption across various fields is what interests me right now, because you see the metaverse applications, be it in cultural sectors, like museums are starting to use it, be it in education, even with our metaverse university that we'd like to develop. You see it with governments as well. So government institutions in Dubai, I'll give you an example, they actually have a government entity put on the metaverse. You have now on Sandbox and Dcentral, Sandbox, you have Snoop Dogg's concerts that are happening there. And so I really do believe that the metaverse is not science fiction. It is actually our reality. It is going to be our future, but it will never take away the physical aspect. I think both the digital and physical realms will coexist. They will reinforce each other and allow us to expand basically outreach, bandwidth, and also an opportunity for marketing and enhance the digital economy or contribute to the digital economy through it as well. So I think that this is only the beginning, and there is so much yet to be done within it. And it just goes back to the gap in knowledge. So the more that we are informed about how we can use the metaverse and that it really is a reality that is around us even, I think we will start adopting it much faster and utilizing it to its capacity.
And my next question for all panelists here is, when it comes to events coming up, what events are you most excited about, and which types of events would you like to see more of in the space?
In terms of events, my God. So I've been very fortunate. I feel like in the past year, I have been to literally hundreds and hundreds of conferences globally and events and side events. I'm actually really exhausted. I can't wait for this year to come to an end. But I do believe that the most distinguished ones which impacted me greatly were, for example, the ones that combined both, Web3 and were mainstream or within the arts or the business. So I really loved SXSW in Austin. I thought that was a phenomenal platform for those that want to enter into the field and want to learn more about it from really pioneers within the industry. For sure, Consensus, for sure, you look at, I thought NFT Miami Week was pretty wild. For me, that was from a creator perspective, I was blown away. But I think moving forward, what we're gonna start seeing is that in emerging markets, definitely more and more, kind of conference platforms that are going to be happening, especially if you look at Latin America and Africa as well. Within the Middle East and North Africa region, for sure, it's on every government's agenda, literally. And I think what we will start benefiting more are from those side events that we co-create, and the ones that we it doesn't have to necessarily be a massive platform that is sponsored by a certain brand. What you're going to see is that within the community itself, the communities will have our own specific minute kind of platforms where it will, kind of have that more opportunities for those that want to actually have access and to be part of that. So I really think that moving forward, we're going to have a lot of these events. So many. But I think it's the minute ones that are going to be most impactful with the highest ROI.
I think from my side, I'm really excited. I have a few favorites, I have to say. I really love Met Amsterdam, I attended last year, and it was incredible. I think what they did there, it was a smaller conference, about 1,000 attendees, but they had only one stage, and it was so incredibly done in the immersive experience with how they actually, co-created with tech and immersive arts. And I think it really showed a lot of attendees what this can do for a lot of people and what sort of, that impact that leaves on them. So I really enjoy conferences that have that arts and technology bridge. On the other hand, I agree with you as well. I really enjoy smaller events, mainly the side events. I mean, just a fun fact with WAGMI Guide, yesterday I was going over with all the events that are happening in Miami, and we have listed 356 events in the coming 2 weeks, just in Miami. So I think that's an incredible number.
I've RSVP'd to 50 of them.
There's a lot of happening, yes. But I would say smaller, maybe niche, impactful events are my favorite.
I'm most excited to see, events that are considered Web 2 become Web 3. So these conferences are amazing and we experience all the magic that can happen, but until the day like Burning Man is on a Web 3 platform, that's what I'll look forward to, is when it just becomes normal. Like, think about the best experience you've ever had. I think that's the on-ramp to Web 3 that people can understand. And it might not be a conference talk, right? And so in terms of specific, that's what I want in culture. Because we think of ourselves as like a bridge between culture and crypto, or Web 2 and 3. But then in terms of specific events, this Wednesday at the Surfcombe or Kimpton Hotel, we're doing a baddie pool party. So all the women are invited, but it's like for everyone. It's with Dcentral and it's with amazing women in Web3 communities. It's a pool party. Everyone will look their best, so come by. It's 12 to 4 p.m. OpenSea listed it today in their social stories. And then this Saturday, we're doing an event at the same location with a couple of Web3 creator communities, again, all in culture. So Glass XYZ, which is music video NFTs, Dot Connector, which is lifestyle. We've got streetwear brands. And this is sort of the magic of Web3, which is when you put yourself out there, the event just snowballs. So as of 2 days ago, Artifact is going to be kind of rolling their event into ours. It's not announced yet. So come by on Saturday from 7 to 11 p.m. at Kimpton Surf Hotel. And this can all be found on Playground as well, at playgroundapp.com.
So can you repeat, there's a pool party on Saturday?
There's a pool party on Wednesday with Dcentral. It's a baddies pool party. All the women communities, 500 RSVPs already. Okay. But then on Saturday is one that's not announced yet, and that's the one where Artifact is going to be having a party at the same time and combining with us. So I think that ultimately, if there's a platform that can foster more collaboration, because this event just kind of happened, then magic happens. Then you have a startup like Playground, and we can actually do shit with some of the biggest communities and names in Web3, and that's when I feel like everyone will pay attention, bear market or not.
Agree, 100% agree. And I guess my next question for all panelists is more towards, what do you, in your opinion, what is more important in terms of really building community, local, smaller, intimate events, or bigger international events, and really just looking at local versus international, starting with Jumana?
So I actually have a background in community and ethnic studies. And one of the things that always fascinates me, and I recommend you read the book, it's by Andy Cohen. It's amazing. It's called The Symbolic Construction of a Community. And honestly, you look at what attracts people together, what brings that collective action. And I do believe that Web3 is literally about the community. Without the community, Web3 would not really exist, And so for us, when we're looking at Made for You Global, it is global outreach. So essentially, we do have an app, which is a global app, and it has global functionalities. We have also the website rendition of it. But the fact is, the way that we're building our community is that locally, obviously, within the MENA region, Middle East, North Africa, but of course with global outreach. And it will become a snowball effect, because if you have commonalities within your group or within your community, and they will obviously attract their community, and vice versa, and that community becomes tenfold in like a couple of days. And that is really the core essence of what community building is all about. It's also about transparency as well, so remaining extremely transparent, having effective communication with your community, keeping them, understanding what their core goals are. Why are they part of that community? What do they believe? The sets of beliefs that you all share as a collective community. And something I just want to conclude with is that, our legacy literally is Web3, is what we're doing with Web3. But essentially, the community is the currency that we have, and that is what elevates us and really kind of expands our mandate and our power for innovation and growth, collective growth. Yeah.
I agree, actually. I think, in general, Web3 is borderless, and that's why I really decided to go full-time into Web3, because I really like that aspect. Like, for me personally, in my experience, I was born in Czech Republic, but I'm from immigrant parents, so I never really had like a place where I felt like I genuinely belonged, whether that was a location or a community and so on. And in Web3, that was the first time actually I felt like, okay, this is the sort of people I want to be part of it. This is the community I chose, that really accepts me because we share same values. And I think it doesn't have to be based on a location whatsoever. I think it should be international and global. So yeah, to your question, I think definitely globally.
Yeah, same. I mean, they answered it so well. Playground is not just, I want the urban city centers to be a playground, and the rest is just, I think it's all connected. And I think ultimately we might go, city by city, but in terms of our brand and the way we're building our ethos, it's definitely an international, borderless state of mind. I have a very similar, I think, sentiment in terms of, of why I want to build it that way. I'm, Taiwanese, American. A lot of countries don't even recognize Taiwan as a country, and then grew up in New Mexico. And then after college, I actually lived in Prague for a year and then Taipei for a year. So it's like I think that by being accepted by so many cultures and communities, didn't matter what I look like, where I'm from, wherever I was in the world, I always met people that I connected with, and it was based on shared interests, shared values, communities, and then making memories together. I had an amazing night in India with some locals. So just I think the brand and the future that we all want to create is this very globally diverse, connected, and international community, which is what Web3 is, which is why I think this is also an industry that is one of the first that I felt like I truly can dedicate the rest of my career to.
Awesome. I'll leave it up for the audience if there's one question that you might have for any of the panelists before we wrap up as it pertains to events. Anybody have a question?
Please state where you can find your apps.
Oh.
Playground app. Where can you find that?
Oh, it's playgroundapp.com until I can afford to buy playground.com, but playgroundapp.com.
For WAGMI Guide, you can just download it on Apple Store and Google Play, so it's available on both.
Same, Made for You Global is available as an app on iOS and Android, and also there's a website version of it, madeforyouglobal.com. I urge everyone to sign up and be a part of our community.
And if it's easier on Instagram, that's where we're just Playground too. So maybe follow us on social.
Awesome. All right, I think we're going to wrap up this panel. Thank you all panelists for participating and audience for listening and tuning in. And make sure you go to this amazing pool party happening this week.
Wednesday.
All right. See you guys.